Until just a few years ago, the CPS complex represented as much as 80% of volume, 37% of dockside value. It's hugely important to many, many harbor communities, and this is just an example. This is average landings of about a few years, and 90% or more of the volume that comes across those docks and all these ports are CPS.
We started this plant here 20 years ago, and sardines was a big factor for us at that time. It was something to keep going, to keep the people working and paying bills. The last 4 years, they've closed us down. We've got people that work for us that if we don't work, they leave. We used to have 150 employees in our plant. We're probably down to 60 employees now, and it's very difficult to keep them working.
We've partnered with California's Department of Fish and Wildlife since 2012. Every year we run aerial surveys, and our spotter pilot has estimated and photographed all the sardine and anchovy schools inshore of the federal acoustic surveys. More than 70% of our catch comes from nearshore waters. The NOAA research ships don't come in that shallow, so 70 to 80% of our sardine catch in California is not being counted. This problem really became acute in 2015 when ocean conditions drove the bulk of sardines inshore. The NOAA survey didn't see the fish, and their stock assessment fell below 150,000 tons, which is the cutoff for directed fishing. So the federal government closed the sardine fishery.
I hear what my fishermen tell me, and they tell me there's fish out there, and they can't catch it, and it's sad.
When we had the sardines, we always had something to do year-round, and we don't have that anymore.
Now the situation has gone from bad to worse. The 2018 sardine stock assessment not only missed tens of thousands of tons of fish nearshore, it also subtracted 33,000 tons of sardine that the survey found offshore in Southern California. Assessment scientists said those fish were southern sardines that migrated up from Mexico. The federal government manages only the northern cold water sardine stock. In theory, the dividing line between southern and northern sardines is water temperature about 62 degrees Fahrenheit. For 2019, the northern sardine stock assessment estimated only about 27,500 tons of sardines coastwide, most north of California. This was below the 50,000 ton threshold, requiring the federal government to declare sardines overfished. Now they must develop a rebuilding plan, even though the fishery has been closed since 2015.
I'm here today to talk about the fish on the near shore. I drive up and down these coasts for a living. It's what I do. We're dealing with inshore fish. It's not being documented. And then take it a step further, we're also dealing with fish in the Southern California area that's just getting completely omitted from the stock. We've seen hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tons of fish here tonight. Near shore. A tremendous amount of sardines here at Santa Cruz Island tonight.
It's very important that the science is done right because it affects a lot of people, not just the fishermen, but it trickles down to the cannery workers, the truck drivers, the boxes, it's just a big effect.
Our biggest misconceptions about fishermen is that they want to go out and kill every fish in the ocean. I think it's quite the contrary, that we want to make sure that stocks are managed well and that there's always going to be fish.
So we elected to volunteer for this work because we understand the importance of it. It's a big loss to us financially to donate our time, effort, fuel, expenses.
It's hard. It's really hard on the crew, but we have to look at the bigger picture and look at the future, and hopefully this is going to help out down the road somewhere.
Nobody wants to deplete what they do for a living. It's a sustainable fishery and we want management, we have a lot of investment, so nobody wants to deplete it, but there is still a lot of fish out there.
What I would love to implore you to do is improve the science. Get the nearshore fish documented.
It's really important for the future of California's wetfish industry to correct the sardine stock assessment. This year, besides aerial surveys, we're conducting an acoustic survey near shore that will run at the same time as NOAA's summer survey.
This is our position just east of Transect 29. There's quite a few spots. Sardines this morning here. We made a sample set on this last night. Several breezers here. It's all 5-6 inch sardine. See them flipping in the water here. Count, there's one here, nice one here, but you can see inside there's a couple in there. There's another one right over here on our port side. This fish was scattered everywhere last night, and it looks like it's all schooled up here now. Actually, a little bit of volume. Yeah, and there's the NOAA boat. Background right there. They just came in here. They're kind of turned short of the fish here, but
What I would love to implore you to do is improve the science, get the nearshore fish documented, and figure out a way to incorporate the Southern California stock into the stock assessment, because there's no difference between a northern and a southern sardine. It's the same stock. We don't care if they're wearing sombreros or they're up here wearing baseball caps. These are the same fish. You guys, we have to include it. Are we going to manage the resources down there, or are we going to omit it because it doesn't fit into our model? The model needs to change, the science needs to change, and I implore you to do that, because you're taking away my job and all my colleagues' job, and we've seen numerous testimony here today that the nearshore fish is there and not being documented.
My grandfather, my diddy as we called him growing up, was a commercial fisherman. Then of course my dad is a commercial fisherman, so it's been a part of our family from the beginning of time. But I just love the fact that my husband is a next generation fisherman. He gets to be a part of something that is in my history, in my family, and I love that's rewarding in itself. I love the challenge that it gives him and the drive I see in him. I'm fearful every day that the industry will not be there in the future. There's sleepless nights all the time wondering the what ifs, a lot of concern about what will be down the road and what the future holds for this industry.
The big problem is NOAA's acoustic surveys aren't seeing the fish, and we are, but we're not allowed to fish. If the stock assessment was accurate, sardines would not be declared overfished.
They need to improve the science, and we're hoping that what we're doing, is going to help out.